tennis fans, the world is in total shock. Coco Gauff didn't just talk about the game, she just shattered the silence with a psychological confession so raw it has the entire sports world questioning her mental state. In a press conference that has instantly gone viral, the American sensation dropped a bombshell about her upcoming opponent Alex Eala, hinting at a dark fear that changes everything. Why is the reigning U.S. Open champion looking so vulnerable before she even steps on the court? Is this a strategic mind game, or are we witnessing the cracks in a champion's armor that could hand Eala the biggest win of her career? Brace yourselves. This is the story behind the words that have ignited a firestorm in the tennis community. The air in the press room was thick with anticipation, the usual hum of cameras and low chatter building to a crescendo as Coco Gauff approached the microphone. The questions were predictable, a standard litany of tactics and tournament expectations that players face daily. But what transpired in the next 60 seconds was anything but standard. It was a moment of startling candor that ripped through the carefully constructed facade of professional athleticism, laying bare the psychological burden that comes with being a global star at just 20 years old. When asked about her upcoming match against the young Filipino prodigy Alex Eala, Gauff didn't fall back on cliches about taking it one point at a time. Instead, she paused, a flicker of uncharacteristic uncertainty crossing her face. The words that followed were not the confident declarations we are accustomed to. She spoke not of her own strengths or game plan, but of a strange fear and hesitation when facing Eala. "It's different with her," Gauff confessed, her voice lowering. "When I look across the net, I don't just see an opponent. I see a version of myself. The pressure, the expectations, the weight of being the next big thing. It's like playing in a mirror." The room fell silent. Was this a psychological ploy, a genius attempt to lull her opponent into a false sense of security? Or was it the terrifying reality of a young champion wrestling with the demons of her own prodigy status? The internet exploded instantly. Social media timelines were flooded with the clip, with fans and analysts dissecting every syllable. Some saw it as a sign of Gauff's maturity and self-awareness, while others viewed it as a critical moment of weakness, a crack in the armor that her competitors would be eager to exploit. The narrative had shifted in an instant. Suddenly, this wasn't just about tennis. It was about the mental fortitude of a superstar who is currently defining her legacy, and her unexpected vulnerability has turned a highly anticipated match into a psychological thriller. To understand the gravity of Coco Gauff's confession, one must step back and appreciate the crushing weight of the phenom label. Since her stunning breakthrough at Wimbledon as a 15-year-old, Gauff has carried the hopes of a tennis nation on her shoulders. Every match is a referendum on her future, every loss a potential sign of decline. This pressure is a constant companion, a whispering voice that never truly goes silent. Her recent confession reveals that despite her numerous titles and her status as a Grand Slam champion, this internal battle is far from won. By openly admitting that she sees her own struggles reflected in Alex Eala, Gauff is confronting a unique psychological hurdle. Eala, much like Gauff, is a young woman with a rich tennis pedigree who has long been touted as the future of Asian tennis. To face her is to face a mirror of a past self, still hungry, fearless, and unburdened by the weight of a Grand Slam trophy. This is where the battle lies. Gauff's words suggest a deep-seated fear of being usurped, of the new generation crashing through the gates she just managed to bolt shut. It's the anxiety of the lion who must constantly prove he hasn't lost his roar. This honest admission humanizes Gauff in a way few viral moments have. It reframes her victories not just as triumphs of athletic skill, but as victories over her own mind. The world witnessed a champion who is exhausted not physically but mentally exhausted from the relentless fight against internal expectations. The question that now dominates the conversation is whether this vulnerability is a therapy tool or a strategic disadvantage. By releasing this pressure valve in public, is she freeing her mind to play with joy, or has she given Eala the ultimate psychological weapon? The shockwaves from this moment will undoubtedly be felt on the court as fans watch to see if Gauff can transform this raw honesty into a formidable weapon of self-awareness. On the opposite side of the net stands Alex Eala, and Gauff's words must feel like an unexpected gift. The young Filipino has heard the whispers her entire career, the next big thing, the future of Philippine tennis. Now her opponent has validated that narrative, confessing to a fear that is the ultimate acknowledgement of Eala's potential. Gauff's admission has shifted the pressure, placing a sliver of doubt in the champion's mind and handing Eala the psychological high ground before a single ball has been struck. Eala is a fierce competitor, a left-hander with a game that can dismantle defenses with precision. Her journey has been one of constant growth, and her performance in this tournament has been stellar. But it's the mental edge she now holds that is most intriguing. She will step onto the court knowing that her presence challenges Gauff on a deeply personal level. This knowledge can be a potent elixir for a player looking for a breakthrough win. It can transform the pressure of facing a top 10 opponent into an opportunity for a statement victory. This is the moment Eala has been building toward. She is not just a player with a powerful forehand, she is a student of the game, known for her intelligence and composure. Gauff's unexpected confession has given her a lesson in the psychological warfare of the sport before the match has even started. It tells her that her reputation is intimidating, that her upward trajectory is noticed and feared. The key now is for Eala to balance this knowledge with focus. She must use it as fuel to stay sharp, but not let it become a distraction. If she can maintain her aggressive baseline game and exploit the potential hesitation in Gauff's mind, she may just pull off the upset of the tournament. This is the ultimate test of her mental fortitude, and the tennis world is watching to see if she can seize this golden opportunity. Beyond the emotional narrative, this viral moment provides a fascinating case study into the tactical and psychological aspects of elite tennis. Coco Gauff's statement is not just a confession, it's a strategic signal. By admitting to a psychological hurdle, she has altered the dynamics of the match. Coaches will be analyzing this statement, looking for the tactical implications. Does a player who feels they are playing a mirror adopt a different strategy? Do they become more aggressive to break the psychological tie, or do they fall back on defensive patterns to avoid risk? For Gauff, the key to overcoming her self-professed block lies in her game. She needs to lean on her greatest weapon, her athleticism and relentless defense. By turning the match into a physical battle, she can move away from the psychological comparisons. She must force Eala to be the one who feels the pressure, who has to go for winners to end points. Gauff's consistency and court coverage are her superpowers. If she can get past the mental static and focus on playing the ball, not the person, she can reclaim control. Conversely, Eala's tactical blueprint is clear. Take the initiative early. Knowing that Gauff may have doubts, Eala must strike with phenom. She cannot afford to engage in long, neutral rallies that allow Gauff to find her rhythm. She must dictate play with her forehand, using her left-handed spin to create awkward angles and force Gauff out of her comfort zone. Psychological warfare is now a tactical reality. Gauff's confession invites Eala to be the aggressor, to play without the fear of losing. It has turned the match from a contest of talent into a conflict of wills, where the player who can best manage the emotional turbulence will likely emerge victorious. The chess match has begun before the first serve, and the strategies are as compelling as the shots they will soon play. This match between Coco Gauff and Alex Eala is a microcosm of the larger conversation about the immense pressure placed on young athletes in the modern era. The viral nature of Gauff's words highlights the intense scrutiny that comes with being a prodigy. Every victory is celebrated, but every word is analyzed, and every defeat is magnified. This isn't just a game, it's a crucible that forges or breaks legacies. Gauff's moment of honesty is a reminder that behind the trophies and endorsements, these athletes are human beings grappling with the very real emotional toll of their profession. The significance of this moment extends far beyond the outcome of a single match. It shines a light on the need for mental health awareness and support in professional sports. Gauff's willingness to be vulnerable, whether a conscious choice or a slip of the tongue, opens a dialogue about the psychological resilience required not just to win, but to sustain a long and healthy career. For Eala, it validates her position as a future star, but also warns her of the challenges that lie ahead. The tennis world will be watching not just for the result, but to see how both players handle the aftermath of this emotional buildup. Ultimately, this story is about a changing of the guard and the evolution of a champion. Coco Gauff has learned that one of the toughest opponents you will ever face is yourself. Whether she uses this confession to free her mind and play with joy, or whether it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of defeat, will define the next chapter of her storied career. For Alex Eala, it is the stage on which she can announce herself to the world. The world is now watching with bated breath. This match is not just about who wins or loses, but about how the human spirit reacts under the most intense pressure. It's a riveting drama that proves once again why we love this sport. If you enjoyed this latest tennis update and want to stay ahead of the biggest stories in the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to World Zone right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. See you in the next video.